In the bustling market town of Abeokuta, two young women, Ngozi and Folklore, were known for their lifelong friendship. Born just days apart in neighboring compounds, they shared everything from childhood games to adolescent secrets. The entire community recognized their bond as they moved through life together, supporting each other through every triumph and hardship. Ngozi, with her calculating mind and sharp business sense, could transform any failing venture into a success. Folklore, blessed with extraordinary charm and a warm heart, drew people to her naturally. Both came from modest families, and both dreamed of escaping poverty. Their paths diverged after university. Folklore's finance degree caught the attention of Oil Niger, the country's largest petroleum company. The CEO, Chief Adebayo, a respected businessman known for his brilliance and integrity, personally interviewed her. Within weeks of joining, Folklore uncovered financial discrepancies that saved the company billions of naira, earning her an immediate promotion to financial controller. "Ngozi, I can't believe it!" Folklore exclaimed during their weekly meet-up at Mama Tola's eatery. "Chief Adebayo called me to his office this morning. They're giving me the financial controller position. Triple my current salary, a company Range Rover, and a fully furnished apartment in Victoria Island." Ngozi embraced Folklore tightly. "Congratulations! No one deserves it more," she said, her smile not reaching her eyes. Secretly, bitterness consumed her. After 5 years running her small clothing boutique, she barely turned a profit while Folklore seemed to effortlessly ascend to luxury. In the following months, each visit from Folklore became increasingly painful for Ngozi. The designer clothes, the expensive perfume, the stories of business trips to London and Dubai all served as reminders of what Ngozi lacked. When Folklore offered to help with a loan to expand Ngozi's business, the final thread of friendship snapped within Ngozi's heart. She didn't want Folklore's charity, she wanted Folklore's life. During a difficult month when customers were scarce, Ngozi overheard market women whispering about Madame Ezin, a powerful juju woman who lived deep in the Alumo forest. Some claimed she could rearrange destinies for those willing to pay her price. Desperation overcame Ngozi's fear, and she sought out the mysterious woman. The path to Madame Ezin's compound wound through increasingly dense forest. Strange sounds, whispers and moans that seemed neither human nor animal, echoed around Ngozi. She almost turned back twice before finally reaching a clearing with a small mud hut covered in strange symbols, surrounded by calabashes hanging from tree branches. "I have been expecting you," came a voice from inside the hut before Ngozi could announce herself. An elderly woman emerged, her eyes milky white with cataracts yet seeming to stare directly into Ngozi's soul. "You carry the weight of envy like a second skin." Ngozi trembled but held her ground. "I want what my friend has. She has everything while I struggle for crumbs." Madame Ezin cackled, revealing teeth filed to points. "The universe maintains balance, child. To take her fortune means accepting misfortune elsewhere in your life. Are you prepared for this exchange?" "Yes," Ngozi replied without hesitation. "Whatever it costs." The old woman disappeared into her hut, emerging moments later with a small gourd containing dark liquid. 3 drops in her drink. Her mind will cloud, her work will suffer, and her position will become vacant. Then you must be ready to take her place. "What is your price?" Ngozi asked, reaching for her purse. Madame Ezin shook her head. "I do not want your money. My price is this. Your firstborn child will never speak. Do you accept?" Ngozi hesitated only briefly. Children were distant concerns, success was immediate. "I accept." 2 weeks later, during Folklore's housewarming party at her new Victoria Island apartment, Ngozi volunteered to serve drinks. When Folklore stepped away to greet new guests, Ngozi added 3 drops to her champagne flute. Folklore returned, raised her glass in a toast to friendship, and drank deeply. The transformation began subtly. First, Folklore started forgetting important meetings. Then she transposed numbers in critical financial reports. Her once impeccable appearance deteriorated, hair unkempt, clothes wrinkled, dark circles under increasingly vacant eyes. Chief Adebayo showed concern, ordering medical tests that revealed nothing physical. Meanwhile, Ngozi had researched Oil Niger extensively and applied for an entry-level accounting position. Using Folklare's name as a reference, still trusted despite her declining performance, Ngozi secured the job. She worked methodically, identifying opportunities to demonstrate her capabilities to senior management. The company crisis came when Folklore approved a flawed contract that cost Oil Niger 500 million naira. Chief Adebayo had no choice but to demote her. In meetings discussing Folklare's replacement, Ngozi's name emerged repeatedly as someone showing exceptional promise. 3 months after joining the company, Ngozi was offered Folklare's former role. The day Folklore cleared out her office, Ngozi watched from her new adjacent office, suppressing a smile as security escorted her disoriented friend from the building. That evening, Ngozi moved into her company-provided apartment, coincidentally in the same building where Folklore could no longer afford to live. For 6 months, Ngozi's life was everything she had dreamed. She commanded respect in boardrooms, drove a luxury car, and traveled internationally on business. When people asked about Folklore, she would sigh sadly and say, the pressure was too much for her. Such a shame. But peace eluded Ngozi. Nightmares plagued her sleep. Visions of children with sewn-shut mouths and Folklore wandering Lagos streets, disheveled and confused. She began seeing Folklare's reflection in mirrors and windows, though when she turned to look, no one was there. Folklore, meanwhile, had returned to her parents' modest home in Abeokuta. Her reputation shattered, her savings depleted on doctors who found nothing wrong, she spent days staring blankly at walls. Her mother took her to church after church, her father to hospital after hospital, finding no answers. During a family gathering, Folklare's uncle, Professor Ola, a biochemist who had studied traditional medicine, noticed her symptoms. "This doesn't look like any medical condition I recognize," he said thoughtfully. "It resembles the cases I've documented of juju-induced illness." Despite skepticism from some family members, Professor Ola consulted his colleague, Baba Taiwo, a respected traditional healer. After examining Folklore and performing several rituals, Baba Taiwo confirmed the diagnosis. "Someone has poisoned her spirit out of jealousy," he declared. "Someone close, a friend or lover." The darkness entered through food or drink. Folklare's mother gasped. "The housewarming party!" She was fine before that night. Baba Taiwo prepared a cleansing concoction of herbs and roots. She must drink this at sunrise and sunset for 14 days. As she heals, the person who did this will begin to suffer. By the 7th day, Folklore showed improvement. By the 14th, her mind had cleared completely. With clarity came painful realization. The strange taste of her champagne, Ngozi serving drinks, her friend's convenient rise as she fell. Folklore said nothing to her family but began planning. At Oil Niger, Ngozi's carefully constructed world started collapsing. Reports she'd prepared contained inexplicable errors. Crucial emails disappeared from the sent folder. Clients reported receiving rude messages from her account that she had no memory of sending. Each night, her nightmares intensified. Now featuring Madame Ezin laughing while holding a silent infant. One Monday morning, Ngozi arrived at work to find Chief Adebayo waiting in her office, his face grave. With him was the head of security and, shockingly, Folklore, clear-eyed and composed. "Ms. Ngozi," Chief Adebayo began formally, "we have evidence of serious misconduct." He played a security recording showing Ngozi accessing confidential files and sending them to a competitor's email address, action she had no memory of performing. "This isn't possible," Ngozi protested. "I would never, there's more," Chief Adebayo continued, motioning to Folklore. Folklore stepped forward, her voice steady. "I consulted with Professor Taiwo at Lagos University. He analyzed samples of my hair and nails from before and after my decline. They contained traces of a particular root extract known to cause cognitive impairment, the same substance found in your desk drawer during a security sweep." Ngozi's face drained of color. "You can't prove I gave you anything." "Actually," the head of security interjected, "we have footage from Ms. Folklare's housewarming party showing you tampering with her drink. A former employee provided it recently." Chief Adebayo shook his head in disgust. "Security will escort you off the premises. Legal proceedings will follow." As guards led Ngozi away, Folklore approached her. "I know about Madame Ezin," she said quietly. "I know the price you agreed to pay. I would have given you anything if you'd asked for money, connections, or opportunities. Instead, you chose this path." That night, alone in her apartment with her belongings in boxes, Ngozi received a text message from an unknown number: "The balance must be maintained. You failed to destroy her, so now what was hers returns to her, and what was yours diminishes to nothing." Within days, news of Ngozi's actions spread through Lagos business circles. No company would hire her. Her boutique customers disappeared, forcing its closure. When she tried returning to Madame Ezin to reverse the curse, she found only empty forest where the hut had stood. 6 months later, Chief Adebayo, impressed by Folklare's recovery and handling of the situation, reinstated her as financial controller. Under her guidance, the company recovered the lost contracts and expanded operations. She never spoke publicly about Ngozi's betrayal but established a corporate wellness program focusing on mental health and stress management. Ngozi eventually left Lagos, returning to her ancestral village in the east. There, she started again with a small roadside shop, humbled and haunted by her choices. Sometimes, customers reported hearing her talking to someone invisible, begging forgiveness. Moral of the story: be careful who witnesses your rise. Not all who smile at your good news wish you well. Success attracts both celebration and envy. Know the difference between those who truly support you and those who simply watch and wait. And so it remains today. Good news shared selectively is good news protected, for the path to the top is treacherous enough without creating your own obstacles.